So what is an IDE? It's an integrated development environment, which is a piece of software that provides tools and features to help developers, programmers like you, write, debug, test, and manage your code efficiently. We're going to combine several or the IDE, I should say, is going to combine several development tools into a single interface. It's called graphical user interface because it has buttons, icons, has pictures, right? That makes it easier to use. We're not going to be doing it purely right through commands to do all these cool features and to use all these cool tools. Debugging is a really big one, right? That IDEs really make it way easier to do. So popular IDEs include Visual Studio Code. There's also just regular Visual Studio. Technically, Visual Studio Code is not an IDE, right? But I just drop it in there because it's a really cool general purpose text editor. Yeah, I should probably take the code part off since it's technically not an IDE. But yeah, the one we'll be using in this class is IntelliJ IDEA. There's Eclipse as well, another popular Java one. PyCharm, that's for Python. There's NetBeans as well, etc., etc. There's so many IDEs out there, right? There's BlueJ, that's one that's great for people learning Java as well. I'm not going to be super strict on the IDE that you use. Like I said, there's Visual Studio Code, which is a text editor. There's Visual Studio, that's the another general purpose IDE. We're gonna be using IntelliJ because that's one that I used in my professional experience when we're working with Java Spring. So it comes with a lot of Java and Gradle. Gradle is a package manager for Java. Um, if you take my Linux class, you'll kind of understand what packages are. But yeah, it's just ways to extend the functionality of Java. You can do that through packages. But yeah, if you're using Java, I'm gonna try to get you to use something that's like industry standard, and IntelliJ is definitely one of those. So why do we use IDEs? Why don't we just pop open our Notepad and just start writing code in there? Well, because IDEs are going to help you increase your productivity. They have all the tools in one place. You don't have to jump around to compile your code, right? To write your code, to debug your code. It's going to have it all in one place, so you're not going to waste time switching between apps and tools. It's going to have error detection, so it has real-time syntax checking. So as you're writing stuff, it'll actually let you know if you wrote something wrong. Give you little suggestions as well on how to better write your code as well. Just general debugging indicators and cues so that you're writing good code. So you can catch those errors, before you actually start running the code. Code completion. Some of these even have auto completion for your code, so you don't have to be like a dictionary of every single statement and command. It'll actually help you complete some of the most commonly written statements. It also helps with debugging, right? So built-in debuggers. That's extremely useful. Like I said, that's a critical task for any programmer. Project management, so it's going to help you organize all the files, right? Especially writing a big piece of software, you're going to have a lot of different files. Dependencies are like different code that you depend on, different tools and software, and configurations in a single workspace. So it's going to help you manage all the complexity in one place. And then, of course, there's a lot of community support for IDEs. So if you don't know how to use it, or if you want to figure out how to do something new with that IDE, you want to extend the features, there's going to be a lot of community support for the most popular IDEs, right? You're going to find even more online resources, forums, questions and answers, right, on how to achieve things with your IDE. So yeah, the key features are you have your code editor, right? You have a place to write it. You could do that in a Notepad, right? But the Notepad's not going to have a debugger. So yeah, the IDE is going to have a debugger to help you identify and fix errors, help you step through the code so you can go statement by statement. It's going to have the compiler interpreter, so to actually build your code, right? It'll translate it and then run it. And that's going to be in the build automation, so tools to automate tasks like compiling code, running tests, and packaging your application as well. Version control, most IDEs these days work with Git. So if you're writing a big piece of software, versioning is really important because you're constantly updating the software. That's built into modern IDEs. Again, project management, you're going to be able to manage your files, folders, and dependencies. Dependencies are pretty much other pieces of code that you depend on, such as the Java libraries we'll be exploring. Again, a lot of this will make more sense once we get to it. There's also plugins and extensions, so people actually write or create new tools for the IDE so that other programmers can use. And then there's a terminal and console. If you're programming, of course, GUIs are nice, but a lot of times you're going to have to use the terminal at some point. So yeah, terminal extremely useful for running commands and scripts directly in the IDE. Sure, you can crack open, right, another piece of software, right, the actual terminal, depending on the operating system you're on. But you could just stay on the IDE and everything's kind of there. So yeah, we're going to be using IntelliJ IDE. So the IntelliJ IDE is brought to you by JetBrains. So they actually have other IDEs. Um, some popular ones they create are PyCharm. I've used PyCharm. It's really, really cool, really useful. But the one for Java, Java specific, is the IntelliJ IDEA. So yeah, for Java and other JVM-based languages like Kotlin and Scala, Kotlin is kind of like a modern a branch of the Java programming language, specifically for mobile development. So those are your Android developers, right? They can write in Kotlin. So JetBrains, they're a big software development company, and they're known for creating really, really good IDEs. So again, we're going to be using something that's industry standard, something that has a bunch of features. We're not going to be using all of them, but we're certainly going to use some of the most important ones. So yeah, it has all the key features that most IDEs have, and it's tailor-made for Java and other JVM-based languages. So last but not least for this module is, of course, setting up not only our JVM, right, and downloading the JDK, it's also going to be to download IntelliJ as well. So we're going to walk through, or I will walk you through that. We're going to do that together in the next video.